Hi everyone, Dave Broughton with Bill Wagner, Navy Sports Chat, Football Edition. First of all, I'm happy to report that August is over, the hot, humid, miserable month of August this year. And so we turned the calendar over to September, and sure enough, we got football weather, baby. It was cold this morning, a little brisk at night. So football is definitely in the air this weekend. Perfect timing because Navy opens its college football season this Saturday, September 5th, at Ohio State. It's going to be a doozy. 22-point underdog are the Mids.
No, he went up. It was 21.
Right. Well, the Nate Frazier probably was worth a point or so.
Point, yeah.
All those savvy Las Vegas prognosticators. So, Bill, you know, we got a long season ahead of us, but starting off with, as well, the stiffest test, safe to say, the stiffest test that they will face all year will be in the opener. After watching Navy all these practices, they've been working hard. What do you see from this team, not necessarily for the Ohio State game, but as a general overview for the Navy football team for the 2009 season?
Well, I think Navy is going to be typical to what they've been the last 5-6 years when they've been winning. They have built a program now that is solid, and they gotten to the point where they have interchangeable parts. They can replace players with players of similar ability. I mean, they may not have a fullback just like Eric Catani, but they have a good fullback. I think Alexander Teach will prove to be a productive player. They may not have a slot back just like Shun White, but they have a whole stable of very talented slot backs, and somebody will step up. So I think Navy will be solid, and the problem is that Navy could be just as good as they were last year and not win as many games because this schedule is much tougher than last year's schedule.
8 bowl teams, right? Is that what you said?
Right. I mean, there are no breaks. And so it is really going to be a struggle. Navy needs to win 7 games this year to go to a bowl. They've already signed to a contract to play in the Texas Bowl, December 31st at Reliance Stadium in Houston, Texas. But they need to win 7 games this year as opposed to the normal 6 because they're playing a 13-game schedule due to the fact that they're playing at Hawaii. And it is hard to go down this schedule and count up 7 wins. And so they're going to have to pull a few upsets. They're going to have to win every game that they're supposed to on paper, being Army, Temple, Delaware, which has beaten Navy in the past. So it is a rough road, and so Navy could be every bit as good as they have been in recent years and still not be able to get to the level of wins that is necessary to go to a bowl game.
Okay, well now let's kind of focus in on this Ohio State game here. As we were talking earlier, Ohio State is a program, they don't rebuild, they reload.
Absolutely.
A number of their players from last year will be playing on Sundays this year in the NFL. One guy we know they do have coming back is their quarterback, Terrell Pryor, one of the most highly sought-after recruited quarterbacks in prep history a couple years ago, chose Ohio State. For the Navy defense, it's going to be maybe a sleepless night Friday night for the Navy defensive coordinator.
I think it's been a lot of sleepless nights for the Navy defensive coordinator leading up to this game.
What are they, how do you see the Navy defense stacking up against Terrell Pryor? What sorts of things do they have to do to guard against a guy who can beat you through the air and on the ground with those long legs? The guy is just like with these great strides. He's tough to deal with.
Right. Well, I mean, he's amazing. He's 6'6", 235 pounds, so he's bigger than any Navy linebacker or member of the secondary. I mean, he's bigger than some of Navy's defensive linemen. So, and he's fast. They say he runs the 40-yard dash in 4.3 seconds. They say it's been electronically timed, verifiable. That's amazing to be that big and that fast. He's the complete package. He also throws the ball well. They do. You've heard about the Wildcat offense in the NFL. Well, Terrell Pryor is like a Wildcat offense unto himself. He'll sit in shotgun, and he is a threat to run at any time. And so you almost have to spy the guy with somebody because you never know when he's going to just tuck the ball and go. And he's an amazing athlete. He was also a great basketball player at Jeannette High School in Pennsylvania. He was probably a Division I caliber basketball player. Could have played either sport at the next level. So I was asking Ross Pospisil, the inside linebacker, who was Navy's leading tackler last year and no doubt will want to get his hands on Terrell Pryor in this game. And he said when you watch the film of Terrell Pryor, if you took off the Ohio State jersey and put burnt orange on, he looks like Vince Young.
Right.
And we remember what Vince Young did to USC in the national championship game of a few years ago, and that's what you're talking about with Terrell Pryor. So it's going to be an incredible challenge, and obviously he's not the only weapon Ohio State has. We don't know yet who their big stars are going to be. They lost their number one tailback, Beanie Wells, to the NFL. They lost their number one receiver, Brian Robisky, to the NFL. They lost their leading tackler, James Laurinaitis, to the NFL, and their top secondary guy, Malcolm Jenkins. So, but as usual, Ohio State has the top recruits in the country every year. Every year they have a top 10, if not top 5 recruiting class. I was looking at the roster and noticing that Lamar Thomas from Friendly High School, 2 years ago, he was rated the number 1 player in the state of Maryland, and he chose Ohio State. He had offers to every major school in the country, and he is their kick returner and number 3 receiver. So that just goes to show you the caliber of talent. Lamar Thomas is a big-time player, but at Ohio State, it's a struggle to even get on the field.
Yeah, deep depth for the Buckeyes. Now, switching to the Navy offense, as we've been talking about, maybe a more diversified offense this year. Do you think it's going to take a while to really get the balanced part that they've been talking about, the pass run? I mean, where do you see the Navy offense as it stands as we head into the season?
Well, that's interesting, and we're all eager to see what this Navy offense looks like and who proves to be productive and the playmakers. We know about Ricky Dobbs, and we know that he can run the ball. He has shown that he can run the ball effectively. He's very tough between the tackles. He's hard to bring down. But I'm hopeful that this does not become the Ricky Dobbs show, where it's Ricky carrying the ball 35, 40 times a game, and the slots only carrying a total of 8 between them. So, I think the Navy runs the triple option. That has gotten them where they are today. That has been the key to their success. For Navy to continue to be successful this year, they need to maintain the triple option element. They need to establish the fullback. And that means that guy's got to get 18 to 20 carries a game. If the fullback's not carrying 20 times a game, then Navy's offense probably isn't working the way it should. The slot backs need to touch the ball and make plays. What makes opposing defenses have difficulty stopping Navy is the diversification of the attack and the fact that you don't know where the ball is going. If opponents start to sense that Ricky Dobbs is going to tuck it and run every time, and that the offense is designed to basically be Ricky Dobbs right, Ricky Dobbs left, Ricky Dobbs up the middle,
right,
that's probably not going to be successful down the road. He may have a few games where he has 100-yard rushing games, but I think on the whole, that's not what needs to happen. So I'm very eager to see how Ricky's gotten improved in terms of reading the option, reading defenses, knowing where to go with the ball, distributing the ball. We didn't see that much when he played last year. The bulk of the running plays where it was kind of they changed the offense a little bit, went to what they call the midline option, and it was a lot of Ricky Dobbs carrying the ball.
Yeah. Well, Bill, big game this weekend. When do you head out to Columbus?
On Friday, and I'm looking forward to it. I've never been to Columbus, Ohio. I've never been to the Horseshoe, the fabled Horseshoe with 105,000 people. It's going to be an amazing atmosphere. I'm looking forward to it.
And now, are you dotting the I at halftime? A special guest? Actually, that's going to be John Glenn, actually, right?
I think it is going to be John Glenn. That's very good.
So a lot of pomp and circumstance following Navy's football team out to Columbus, Ohio this weekend, a big game. You can follow along in the Capitol and also online, Hometown Annapolis, Bill's stories, and also his blog. And you can, of course, read about the game on Sunday in the Capitol and also online. And then next week we'll talk about the game and then get ready for the home opener, September 12th against Louisiana Tech.